Hello guys and welcome back to our Law on Obligations and Contract series. So, nandito tayo ngayon upang talakayin in details ang different essential requisites of a contract. So, this is based from the Civil Code Article 1318 to 1355. So, balikan natin ulit. Ano nga ba ulit yung tatlong essential requisites ng contract? So, they are consent, object, and the cause. Okay? So before we get started, please subscribe to our channel to alert you on the release of upcoming videos. And also, don't forget to like this video if it helps you. And also, naglagay kami ng link below to pwede kayo mag-sign up and then mag-answer ng mga different questions regarding this series. Okay, so to start, we have the essential elements of contract. So, refresher lang, ano yung mga different elements of a contract last time? So, we classified it into three. So, we have the essential elements or the elements that are required in order for a contract to exist. We have also the natural elements which are initially existing in some certain contracts. However, it can be removed by the parties. And lastly, we have the accidental elements wherein they are the stipulations of the parties. Okay? So, ayan. Yun po yung mga different classifications of elements. However, in this video, we will focus on the three essential elements of a contract. Okay? So, what are the essential elements ulit? Article 1318. So, sabi niyan, nandito, we have the consent, object, and the cause. So, there is no contract. Okay, so malinaw na malinaw, nakasulat po sa 1318, there is no contract. Okay, kapag wala ang isa sa mga yan. Okay, ibig sabihin, required na required talaga siya. Okay, so ayan. First requisite natin is yung consent. So, ano ba yung mga different requisites ng consent? Under the Civil Code, so ayan, na makikita nyo dyan yung mga ranges ng different articles natin. So, bali, meron tayong tatlong requisite. Number one, it must be manifested by the concurrence of the offer and acceptance. So, dapat merong offer and acceptance of the offer by the other party. Okay, number two, the contracting parties must possess the necessary legal capacity. Ibig sabihin, meron silang capacity to enter the contract. Ibig sabihin, usually yung mga walang capacity to enter a contract is yung mga minor. Pag below 18 pa sila, hindi pa sila pwedeng pumasok sa isang kontrata. And lastly, we have it must be intelligent, free, spontaneous, and real, not vitiated. So, ang magko-cover nito ay Articles 1330 to 1346. However, for the third requisite natin, for the purpose of the voidable contracts, pagdating natin sa Chapter 7, I believe, hindi muna natin siya i-detalye masyado, pero babanggitin natin kung ano ba yung mga different vices of consent. Okay? Pero for now, yun nga, overview pa lang tong number 3. Okay? Magdi-detail tayo sa number 1 and number 2 requisites. Okay? So, ayan. So, let's start with the first requisite, yung manifestation of offer and acceptance. So, ayan. Unahin muna natin yung offer. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng offer? So, ang source po natin dito ay dictionary.law.com. So, an offer is a specific proposal to enter into an agreement with another. So, when we refer to the word agreement, we are referring to a contract. Okay? We are referring to a contract. So, basically, an offer is a proposal initiated by one party to another to enter into a contract. Okay? So, ganun lang po kasimple yun. So, for example, ayan, in-offer ko na bilihin ko na lang yung cellphone mo or bilihin ko na lang yung gadgets mo kasi medyo nagustuhan ko. Okay? So, offer po yun. So, nasa sayo yan kung i-accept mo yung offer ko. Kasi, unless na magkaroon ng acceptance, okay, inulit ko, unless magkaroon ng acceptance, hindi po magkakaroon ng consent. Okay? Okay? So, ayan, kung mapapansin nyo, yung offer, ini-initiate yan ng isang party at yung acceptance gagawin yan nung kabilang party. So, both parties have a say on, okay, on the, on the perfection of a contract or on the, yung first step pa lang tayo, syempre yung pag-gain ng consent. Okay? So, by the way, ang meaning ng acceptance ay agreeing verbally or in writing. Okay? So, ang acceptance pwedeng gawin verbally. Okay? Actually, this is true as well with offer. Pwedeng yung offer mo, verbal, pwede rin in writing yung offer mo. And ultimately, pagdating natin sa contracts, yun nga, yung mga different types of contracts, sabi ko nga last time, dun sa initial video natin, ang mga contracts, hindi po siya necessarily in writing or may pinipirmahan. Okay? So, okay lang na verbal din ang mga kontrata. Pero syempre, may mga certain contracts na kailangan in writing, okay, for certain purposes, which will be tackled on the next video, which is chapter 3, forms of contracts. Okay, so ayan, acceptance, agreeing verbally or in writing to the terms of a contract, which is one of the requirements to show there was a contract. Okay, so ganun lang kasimple yung acceptance. Okay, acceptance ng offer. Okay, pero before we, syempre, although madali nga lang ang ibig sabihin nitong offer and acceptance, pero ano ba yung mga different requisites para masabi natin na ang isang offer ay isang offer? At ganun din ang acceptance, na ang isang acceptance ay magpuproduce ng isang perfected contract or perfected consent, I mean. Kasi yun yung first step muna, di ba? Kasi meron pa tayong object and cause, okay? So, ayan. So, ito yung offer. Sabi dito, note, an offer must be intentional, okay? Must be intentional and certain, okay? Must be intentional and certain. Okay? So, when we say intentional, okay? Talagang gustong mag-offer nung kung sino man yung nag-o-offer na party. Okay? Gusto niya, parang kumbaga deliberate, okay? Pag sinabi rin nating certain, ano ba yung offer? Okay? Pag tinignan ba natin or binasa ba natin yung offer or inanalyze ba natin yung offer, itong offer ba na to, ito yung certain siya as to yung mga necessary information para readily ma-accept natin. Okay? So for example, when offering to sell something, you should specify the object being sold. Okay? However, aside from this, kailangan din na certain ka as to amount or the price. Okay? So pag nagbebenta ka, dapat certain ka rin kung magkano mo siya gustong ibenta. Okay? So, ayan. Dapat ang offer ay intentional and certain. Kasi ganito yan. Paano i-accept nung, let's say, buyer, di ba? Paano i-accept nung buyer kung wala siyang i-accept na information, such as kung ano ba yung binibenta or kung magkano yung binibenta. So, ganun lang po kasimple yun. An offer must be certain. Okay? Next. So, what are the special cases in case of offers? So, meron tayong 4 na special cases dito. First, the person making the offer may fix the time, place, and manner of acceptance, all of which must be complied with. So, this is based on Article 1321. So, ang number 1, ang gusto niya lang sabihin dyan is, pwede niyang i-specify, okay, kung paano i-accept nung kabilang party yung kanyang offer. Dahil kung hindi sumunod yung kabilang party dun sa manner ng acceptance na gusto niya, may chance, okay, ang mangyayari is hindi pa rin magkakaroon ng valid consent. At kapag walang consent, ibig sabihin, walang kontrata na nabuo. Kaya nga malinaw na malinaw dito, all of which must be complied with. So, kung ano yung manner of acceptance na gusto nung nag-offer, kailangan sundin yun nung nag-a-accept para magkaroon ng consent. Dahil kung hindi niya sinundan, hindi magkakaroon ng consent and ultimately, hindi magkakaroon ng contract. Okay? So, number 2, an offer made through an agent. So, by the way, when we are talking about the agent, Actually, an agent is an extension of your personality. Okay? Ang agent po kasi merong separate topic po diyan. Okay? Usually this is taken along with law on sales, 'di ba? Usually that is yung pinakahuling law 4, okay, pang law 4. So ayan. Okay, pero never mind. Okay? So pag sinabi natin kasing agent, dahil for example, ikaw ay isang entrepreneur and then syempre maraming transaction yung mga businesses mo. Hindi lang iisa yung businesses mo. So usually nagtatalaga ka ng mga agent to act on your behalf. Okay? So when making an offer through an agent, okay, it is considered accepted from the time it is communicated to the agent. So, when referring to this, yung acceptance is communicated to him, yung him dyan, we are referring to the agent. Okay? Kasi ang general rule ganito. Okay? When making an offer, okay, yung acceptance, kailangan, okay, kailangan ma-communicate yun sa'yo na nag-offer. Kasi kung hindi yun na-communicate sa'yo, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng consent. Okay ba? So, hindi ibig sabihin na porket nag-offer ka, tapos inaccept niya, pero hindi mo pa alam na inaccept niya, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng consent doon. Okay? So, at that moment, wala pang perfected contract. Okay? Magkakaroon lang ng perfected contract once na yung acceptance na ginawa niya ay maiko-communicate sa'yo. Okay? Pero, in number 2, this is an exemption. Bakit? Kasi, nag-initiate ka ng offer using an agent, therefore, it is sufficient na mai-communicate doon sa agent na yun yung acceptance para magkaroon ng consent. Okay? So, exemption yung number 2 doon sa general rule natin wherein in order for consent to be made, kailangan ng communication ng acceptance to the offerer. Okay? So, exemption po yung number 2. Okay. Number 3, an offer becomes ineffective upon the death, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of either. Okay, so nandiyan yung word na either party before acceptance is conveyed. Okay, before acceptance is conveyed, bago ma-communicate yung acceptance to the offerer. So this is based on Article 1323. So for example, ganito. Nag-offer si seller kay buyer o ibenta ko na sa'yo tong lupa ko for 1 million. Okay? So, ayan. Si buyer, okay, binigyan ng ilang araw para, let's say, tanggapin yung offer. And then, ang nangyari is, yun nga, namatay si seller. Bago niya masabi na, ina-accept ko, bibilihin ko na. Okay? So, namatay. Okay, so isang lang yun isang way lang. May other ways pa tayo, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency. So namatay yung seller. So at that moment, kasi yun nga, namatay siya before the acceptance is conveyed, ibig sabihin, magiging ineffective na yung offer. Ibig sabihin, wala nang chance na magkaroon pa ng consent kasi patay na yung isang party na supposedly magiging party sa isang contract. Okay, so ayun. So ultimately, walang mabubuong kontrata. Okay? Next, number 4. Advertisement for bidders are simply invitations to make offers. So, this is based on Article 1326. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Let's take an example. So, si S nagbebenta at a public auction a specific land. The starting bid is 1 million. A place a bid which is 1,100,000. B place 1,150,000 and C place 1,300,000. So in this case, automatically ba na magkakaroon ng contract between S and C? Okay? The answer is no. Okay? The answer is no. Okay? In this case, meron pa ring option si S na tanggihan. Okay? Yung 1,300,000. Because advertisement for bidders is only an invitation to make an offer. So basically, ang nangyayari, hindi si S ang nag-o-offer dito. Ang nag-o-offer si A, si B, and si C. So ito yung offer nila. 1,100,000, 1,150,000, and 1,300,000 offer. Offer yung mga yan. Okay? Na pending ng pag-accept ni S. So, ayan. Nakasalalay kay S kung kaninong offer yung kanyang i-accept. Pero yun nga, normally, in auction, it is granted to the highest bidder. Okay? So, yun po yun. Okay? Tatandaan nyo yun. Next, let's go to acceptance. So, we have 3 notes here. So, number 1, an acceptance must be absolute. So, when we say absolute, inaccept mo lahat ng ino-offer. Okay? Kasi kung meron kang hindi inaccept kahit 1% nung ino-offer, kahit 1% lang, kahit 0.01%, basta hindi 100% ang pagtanggap mo, hindi pa rin magkakaroon ng tinatawag nating consent. Okay? And ultimately, hindi pa rin magkakaroon ng isang perfected contract. Okay? Dahil, yun nga, hindi absolute yung acceptance mo. Hindi absolute, hindi 100% yung pagtanggap mo. Okay? So, number 2. Okay? Although the offer was accepted, it wasn't communicated to the offerer. Okay? So, very important po yung number 2. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. As a general rule, nagkakaroon talaga ng consent once na nalaman ng offerer na inaccept na ni offeree yung kanyang offer. Okay? So, yun po yung number 2. Okay? Pero normally kasi kapag nag-uusap kayo, harap-harapan, normally it happens parang kumaga automatically na kapag sinabi mo, uy, ibenta ko na sa'yo yung lupa ko. Ah, sige, magkano? Tapos ayun, sabi niya 1 million. Ah, sige. Saan yan? Saan yan naka-locate? Whatsoever. Sinabi niya na lahat ng incomplete information. Sabi pa rin ni buyer, oh sige, bilhin ko na. Okay? So at that moment, syempre, yung pagkasabi niya, oh sige, bilhin ko na, at that moment, syempre, nalaman ka agad ng offerer, di ba? So, okay na yun. Nagkakaroon tayo ng consent doon sa instance na yun na sinabi ko. Okay? Number 3, acceptance may be expressed or implied. When we say express, talagang sinabi mo, expressly sinabi mo, okay, na tinatanggap mo yung offer. Okay? However, pag implied, it is your actions that implies, what do you call this? That implies acceptance. Okay? So, for example, ganito na lang. May nagbebenta sa'yo ng, let's say, saging. Okay? So, binebentahan ka ng saging. Wala kang sinasabi na acceptance. Parang kumaga, kuya, bili na kayo ng saging 10 piso bawat kilo. Okay? So, wala akong idea sa 10 piso bawat kilo. Okay? So, hindi ka umimik, pero ang ginawa mo, okay? Kinuha mo, tapos binawasan mo, kinain mo pa ngayong isa, di ba? So, ang nangyari, through your actions, you are impliedly accepting the offer. So, we have already a perfected sale on that case. Okay? So, yun po yung implied acceptance. Okay? So, next. Ayan, ano to? Okay, so this is an illustration of yung an offer or an acceptance must be absolute. So, S offers to B to sell his specific house and lot in Quezon City for 1,500,000. B accepted the offer but is only willing to buy the land. So, in-accept niya nga pero hindi lahat. Yung land lang daw gusto niyang bilhin. So, in this case, wala pa tayong consent. Wala pa tayong nabubuong consent. So, therefore, wala pang contract. Actually, this is a counter offer. This is what we call a counter offer. Okay? Ang sabi niya kasi, pero willing lang siyang bilhin yung lupa. So, in this case, pag si S, okay lang siya doon sa bilhin lang yung land, ibig sabihin, the counter offer was accepted. If the counter offer was accepted, we have consensus. We have consent. Okay? So, in that case, it will lead us to the perfection of a contract. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo po yung term na yan, counter offer. Kapag hindi absolute yung acceptance, we have counter offer. So, at that moment, hindi pa naman ang huli ang lahat. Ibig sabihin, pwede pang i-accept nung offerer yung counter offer. Okay? Para magkaroon ng consent. Okay? So, next. How acceptance is communicated to offerer. Okay? So, ganito yan. Usually kasi pag nauusap kayo in person, yun nga, ang nangyayari kasi, immediately, once na in-accept niya yung offer mo, immediately, napupunta ka agad sa knowledge mo. Okay? Or na-communicate ka agad sa'yo yung acceptance. So, at that moment, parang kumbaga, sobrang bilis, nangyayari ka agad, nagkakaroon ng consent at that moment. Pero, may mga times wherein, hindi agad-agad, okay, na i-communicate yung acceptance doon sa offerer. So, let's say number 2 in this case. Okay? S, through letter, offered B to sell his land for 1 million. So, kailan niya ginawa and sinend yung letter? Nung January 1. Pero, na-receive lang yun ni B on January 15. So, one day after January 15, so gusto nang bilihin ni B, so ayan, in-accept niya, pero at that moment, January 16, hindi pa nagkaroon ng consent. Bakit? Inuulit ko nga kasi kailangan, okay, kailangan mapunta sa knowledge ng offerer na na-accept na yung kanyang offer. Okay? So, ayan, January 16, pinadala niya yung sulat, pero dumating lang ulit January 31. S receives the letter of acceptance on January 31. So, on January 31, dito magkakaroon ng consent. Okay? So, kung okay yung cause and object natin, at this moment, dito na rin magkakaroon ng tinatawag nating perfected contract. Okay? So, isingit natin ulit dito, what if before January 1, either kay B or S na baliw? Okay? So, babalikan natin yung rule natin na binanggit kanina. Okay? Before acceptance is conveyed at yun nga, nabaliw si either of the parties, whether in this case si B or si S, ang mangyayari, the offer becomes ineffective. So, kapag ineffective yung offer, hindi na magkakaroon ng consent and ultimately, hindi na magkakaroon ng contract. Okay? So, ayan. Ang reference point po natin dyan is January 31. That is the date when the offerer receives knowledge that his offer was accepted by the offeree. Okay? So, that's the time na magkakaroon ng perfected contract. Okay? So, ayan. So, promises in offer and acceptance. Okay? In contract kasi, pwedeng magkaroon ng mga tinatawag nating promises. So, yung mga promises na ito, hinati natin into 3. So, we have unilateral promises. Dinivide natin yung unilateral promises into 2. We have unaccepted unilateral promise and accepted unilateral promise. Okay? So, anong pagkakaiba nung tatlong ito? Okay? Actually, magkakaroon na tayo ng example dito, kaya focus muna tayo dito sa table. Okay? So, under unilateral promise unaccepted, okay, dito sa second column, ano ba to? Binding ba siya? Okay, so yun yung intention natin dyan. So, bear with it. Okay, so binding daw ba siya? Binding ba ang ganitong klaseng promise? Okay, the answer is no. In no case na magiging binding ito. Okay, 0% na magiging binding ito. And magkakaroon ba ng perfected contract? Dahil hindi siya binding, absolutely walang contract na mabubuo. Okay? So, next, punta tayo dun sa unilateral promise accepted naman. Okay? Ano itong unilateral promise accepted? Yung isang party nag-promise siya. Okay? So, mababind lang daw siya if the promise is supported by a consideration. Okay ba? Okay. Baka hindi nyo pa nagigets, pero huwag kayong mag-alala. After this slide, meron tayong example para maintindihan nyo itong sinasabi natin dito. Okay? So, ano ang mapa-perfect na contract? So, ang mapa-perfect na contract ay isang option contract only. Okay? I-explain din natin kung ano yung option contract maya-maya. And lastly, we have a bilateral promise, in which case both parties promise. Okay? Made a promise to each other. Okay? So, binding ba? Yes, absolutely. It is binding without the need for consideration. Unlike sa yung second row natin, di ba? Okay. So, binding contract of promise to enter into a contract. So, into a contract. Okay. So, ayan. Example tayo para mas maintindihan natin. Okay. S offers to sell his land to B for 1 million. Anong ginawa? B refuse. Okay. However, S still insists that he is willing to give B 30 days to decide. Okay? So, actually, this is a promise. Okay? This is a promise. Okay? Sinabi niya, bibigyan niya pa rin ng, tawag dito, promise, parang kumbaga nag-promise pa rin siya na, willing pa rin siya na bigyan siya ng 30 days at, ayun, ready pa siyang ibenta yung land na yun for 1 million kay B if in case nagbago yung isip niya. However, anong nangyari? However, si B, hindi, kahit na, ayaw ko. Hindi ko talaga bibilin yan, sabi niya. Okay? Pero, again, si S, hindi, okay lang. Okay? Marami pang pwedeng mangyari within 30 days. So, nandyan pa rin yung offer na yan. Or nandyan pa rin yung promise na yan pala. Okay? So, sabi niya, okay? Nandyan pa rin. Okay? So, kung gusto mong bilhin, tawagan mo lang ako. Okay? So, yun. So, this is a perfect example of our first row kanina. This is a unilateral promise that is not accepted by the other party. Okay? So, a unilateral promise, ito yung unilateral promise. Okay? Ito naman yung instance ng hindi pag-accept. Di ba? Still refuse. Okay? So, this is also called policitasyon. Okay? So, in this case, there will be no instance wherein mababind. Kahit sino sa kanila hindi pwedeng mabind in a policitasyon. Ibig sabihin, for example, okay, again, S is still stand with his promise, sabi niya. Okay, pero let's say, after 15 days, sabi ni B, S, di ba may binebenta ka sa aking land? Oh, benta mo na sa akin. Okay, hindi siya pwedeng mabind. Kasi yung promise niya yun, hindi naman inaccept. Okay, so this is basically a policitasyon. Okay, so in this case, walang binding na magaganap, walang kontratang magaganap, walang commitment na magaganap kasi hindi inaccept yung promise nung kabilang party. Okay? So, ayan. Next, punta naman tayo dun sa pangalawang instance. Okay? So, S offers to sell his land to B for 1 million. B refused. However, S still insists that he is willing to give B 30 days to decide. Okay? Okay. So, ang pagkakaiba nito from the previous example, anong nangyayari? B accepted the promise. So, sige. Okay, sige. Bibiliin ko yan pag nagkapera ako within 30 days. Sabi niya. Okay? So, the question is, within 30 days, magiging binding ba itong unilateral promise na ito? The answer will be no. Okay? Although this is a unilateral promise accepted, okay, balikan natin yung kanina. Ano sabi ko? Okay? It is binding if promise is supported by a consideration. Okay? So, malinaw dyan. Okay? Binding if the promise is supported by a consideration. Pero in this case, kung mapapansin nyo, walang consideration that will support, okay, the promise. So, in this case, for example, within 30 days, okay, si B, sabi niya, S, asan na yung lupa? Meron na akong 1 million. Okay? Si S, hindi na siya willing ibenta yung lupa. So, pwede bang i-compel ni B na ibenta sa kanya yung lupa dahil nag-promise si S? The answer is no. Hindi niya pwedeng i-compel si S for S promise kasi it is not supported by a consideration. Actually, that consideration is what we call an option money. Okay? That is what we call an option money. Okay? So, let's go to the next example. Okay? This time, nagkaroon ng option money. So, S offers to sell his land to B for 1 million. B refused. However, S still insists that he is willing to give B 30 days to decide. So, nagkaroon ng unilateral promise in this case. And that unilateral promise is accepted. Okay? And, additionally, this time, nagkaroon ng valuable consideration that will support the promise. So 1,000 peso na option money. So in this case, the question is, mababayin ba si SNB? Okay? Mababayin ba si S sa kanyang promise? The answer is yes this time, di ba? Kasi yun nga, merong option money to support the promise. Okay? And by the way, doon sa contract din, meron tayong nilagay doon na merong mabubuong kontrata. Pero hindi pa yun yung contract of sale. Di ba? Hindi pa ito contract of sale. Ito yung tinatawag nating option contract. Okay? Wherein si B meron siyang option whether to purchase, okay, the said land within 30 days. So kapag naglaps na yung 30 days, mawawala na yung kanyang right doon sa option contract. Okay? So yun po yung tatandaan nyo when it comes to unilateral promise accepted. Okay? Tignan nyo muna kung meron bang consideration or wala. Okay? So last, punta tayo dun sa bilateral promise naman. S promised to sell his land to B for 1 million after 1 month. Likewise, B promised to buy S land for 1 million after 1 month. Okay, both of them made a promise to purchase and to buy the land. Okay, so in this case, we have a bilateral promise. And sabi ko, ang bilateral promise, binding na siya. Okay, without the need of a valuable consideration. Actually, this converts into a perfected contract. However, not a perfected contract of sale. It is still a contract that is parang kumbaga a binding contract that will bind them to sell the said property in the future, which is specifically 1 month. So inuulit ko, this situation converts to a perfected contract pero hindi pa directly doon sa tinatawag nating contract of sale. Okay? Magkakaroon pa tayo ng contract na tinatawag natin parang siguro contract to make a sale. Parang ganoon. Okay? Pero meron ng perfected contract. Ibig sabihin, mababind na si SNB within their promises. Okay? So this is an example of bilateral promise. Okay? So ayan. Next, punta tayo dun sa second requisite ng consent. So we have the contracting parties must possess the necessary legal capacity. So this is based from Articles 1327 to Article 1329. So pag sinabi nating capacitated ang isang tao, ibig sabihin capacitated siya or pwede siyang pumasok sa isang contract. Okay? Pero pag sinabi nating incapacitated ang isang tao to enter a contract, hindi siya pwedeng mag-enter into a contract. Okay? So actually, there are two kinds of incapacity. We have absolute incapacity and relative incapacity. So let's go first with the absolute incapacity, kung ano bang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? Pag sinabi nating absolute incapacity, okay, ito yung mga persons that are incapacitated to enter any kind of contract, kahit anong klaseng kontrata. Siyempre, may mga certain exemptions. So, generally, lahat ng contracts, hindi sila pwedeng pumasok. Pero may mga exemptions nga, inulit ko. Okay? So, first, number 1, mga minor, unemancipated minors. Okay? So, kahit anong klaseng kontrata, in general, hindi nila pwedeng pasukan, except contracts involving necessary. For example, bumili sila ng pagkain. Okay? So, that contract is binding kasi it involves necessary, di ba? Pag bumili ng pagkain, bumili ng damit, bumili ng pangangailangan, bumili ng, let's say, edukasyon or ano pa, tirahan or whatsoever. So, ano na yung mga yan? Necessaries na yung mga yan. Okay? Or, when the minor, when entering into a contract, misrepresented his age. Nagloko siya, di ba? Sabi niya, 18 na siya pero hindi pa pala. Okay? So, it will bind him into a contract. So, actually, this is also called, what do you call this? Estoppel, okay? He will be liable, di ba? Parang kumbaga as if, ano nga siya, as if talagang meron siyang capacity to enter a contract pero in reality, hindi pala. Okay? Pero magiging liable pa rin siya in this case kasi yun nga, kasalanan niya kung bakit nag-enter yung kabilang party kasi knowing that he is a minor or incapacitated to enter a contract, minisrepresent niya yung kanyang age. Okay? That will induce the other party into entering the contract. Okay, so next, insane or demented person. Okay, so baliw or ano to, demented. So we have a person with usually yung Alzheimer, mga ganun, yung kakalimutin, mga ganun. Okay, so ayan. Okay, pero ang exemption natin diyan yung lucid interval. So ito yung lucid interval, ito yung time na yung baliw nasa katinuan. Okay? So ayan. So pwede kang makipagkontrata sa isang baliw habang nasa kanyang lucid interval or matino yung kanyang pag-iisip at that moment. Okay? And lastly, number 3, deaf mutes who do not know how to write. So very specific tayo kasi maraming nagkakamaling estudyante. Ibahin lang natin 'to ng konti, gawin lang natin who do not know how to read. Okay, makakalimutan na nila. So very specific po tayo dito. Deaf mutes who do not know how to write. Okay, so tinanong ako last time ng estudyante ko, "Sir, paano kung deaf mute who do not know how to read and write?" Okay, so magpo-fall pa rin siya under number 3. Okay. So, yung ano pa nga lang, who do not know how to write. Eh, paano ba kaya kung who do not know how to read and write? So, oo, hindi pa rin siya capacitated to enter into a contract kasi, ayun nga, as a minimum, na-meet yung deaf mute tapos who do not know how to write. Okay, so ayan. Next, relative incapacity. So when we are talking about relative incapacity, there are persons who are generally capacitated to enter a contract. However, they are not capacitated to enter certain contracts. Okay? For example, ito nga, yung those under civil interdiction. Okay? Civil interdiction for transaction inter vivos. Okay, so revised penal code articles Article 34, undischarged insolvent. So, mga may utang. And ito yung best example natin usually. Okay? So, husband and wife. Si husband and wife, malamang nakapagpakasal sila. So, they are not minors anymore, di ba? Ibig sabihin, generally capacitated na sila to enter into a contract unless baliw sila or who do not know how to write. Pero yun nga, in the first place, hindi naman sila makakapagpakasal kung incapacitated sila. So, husbands and wife are capacitated, di ba? However, in some certain contracts such as contract of donation between each other, hindi po pwede. Okay? Hindi po pwede na pasukan nilang dalawa yan, yung contract of donation with each other. Okay? So, in this case, they are relatively incapacitated with this specific contract lang. Okay? And by the way, ang pagkakaiba ng absolutely incapacitated sa relatively incapacitated, okay. Kapag pumasok sa isang kontrata ang isang absolutely incapacitated person, yung magiging status ng contract na yun ay voidable. Okay? So, para sa mga nakakaalam na para makita nyo although i-explain para ulit natin to kasi yung mga first time na maglo-law on obligations and contracts syempre hindi nyo pa naiintindihan ang ibig sabihin ng or difference between a voidable contract and a void contract. Malamang sa bandang dulo pa yan na mga topics. Okay? So, inuulit ko, kapag pumasok sa isang kontrata ang isang absolutely incapacitated person, the status of the contract will be voidable. However, if a relatively incapacitated person enters the contract which is pinagbabawal sa kanya, for example, husband and wife, the status of the contract will be void. Okay, void. Okay? So yun ang pagkakaiba kapag absolutely incapacitated person pumasok sa isang kontrata, it is voidable. However, kapag relatively incapacitated such as husband and wife, pinasukan nila yung kontrata na pinagbabawal silang pasukan, that will be a void contract. Okay? So tatandaan nyo po yan. Okay? So next, let's go to the third requisite ng consent. So it must be intelligent, free, spontaneous, and real, not vitiated. So vices of consent, nabanggit siya from articles 1330 to 1346. So we have actually 5 vices of consent which will be discussed thoroughly pagdating natin sa voidable contract para may mapag-usapan tayo sa voidable contract. Okay? So first, we have violence. in violence, there is physical force actually. So for example, sinuntok ka, di ba? Sinuntok ka, binugbog ka, sinampal ka, tapos dahil doon, napapirma ka sa isang kontrata. Okay? Actually, ganito. Actually, it doesn't necessarily itong mga vices of consent, it doesn't necessarily hinder the perfection of a contract. Actually, mapaperfect pa rin ang contract despite the presence of these, these vices. Itong limang to. Okay? Mapaperfect pa rin yung contract. Yun nga lang, ang status nung contract na yun ay voidable. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pwede siyang ma-invalidate once na, yun nga, nag-take ng action yung party na pwedeng magpa-invalidate nung specific contract na yun. Okay? So, first is violence. Yun nga, nasabi natin kapag merong physical force. Pag intimidation naman, walang physical force. However, merong parang kumbaga pagbabanta. Okay? Either sa'yo or sa mga kamag-anak mo or sa properties mo. Okay? So, merong pagbabanta. Kaya, yun, napapirma ka sa isang kontrata or napa-oo ka sa isang kontrata. Okay? In mistake, ito naman, dapat yung mistake dito is, it's very substantial wherein, kung alam mo sana na may mistake, hindi mo papasukan yung kontrata siguro. Okay? So, ganun yung mistake. It's how it works. So, later on, pagdating natin ng voidable contracts, we will differentiate mistake that vitiate consent and mistake that do not vitiate consent. So, hindi porket mistake, automatically, it vitiates the consent. Okay? So, when we refer to the mistake, under the vice of consent, we are referring to a mistake that will make or that will vitiate the consent and ultimately will make the status of the contract voidable. Okay? And next, ito, fraud, panloloko, okay? Pero, nung obligations, I believe we talk about two types of frauds. We have fraud, what do you call this? Fraud in obtaining consent, or usually we call that dolo cosante and the dolo incidente. However, yung last time, yung nung sa obligations, we are referring to dolo incidente or fraud during the performance of an obligation. Pero pagdating dito sa consent, yung tinutukoy nating fraud dito is yung fraud in obtaining consent or the dolo cosante. Okay? Pero i-explain natin ulit yan, refresher ulit yan pagdating ng voidable contracts. Okay? And lastly, undue influence. Okay? So, yan. So, for example, yung teacher mo, teacher mo, binentahan ka ng ganito. So, napa-oo ka na lang kasi nahihiya ka, parang ganun. Or, di ba, parang nakakahiyang tumanggi. Parang ganun. So, may undue influence doon. So, pwedeng maging ground yun for the annulment of a contract. Okay? So, those are the overview ng different vices of consent natin. Pero, later on the part of voidable contracts, i-detail po natin yan. Okay? So, let's move on to objects and cause. Okay? So, ayan. Ano nga ba ang object at cause? Kasi baka may mga nalilito pa rin kung ano nga ba ang object at ang cause. Okay? So, we have here two contracts. Okay? So, the first one is a contract of sale and the second one is a contract of lease. Okay? So, ganito. Tanong ko muna. Okay? Post nyo muna itong video after nung tanong. Tapos, try nyong sagutin. In the first case, ano ang ating object? Okay? Contract of sale. So, post nyo muna yung video. Sagutin nyo muna yun. Ano ang object? Okay? So, ang object natin dito ay yung LAN. Okay? The LAN. Okay? Sa pangalawang example natin, the contract of lease. So, this time, ano ang object natin? Okay? So, post nyo ulit ang video. Isipin nyo muna. Okay? So, the object here is also the LAN. Okay? Also, this LAN. Okay? However, what is the cause? Okay, ito na. What is the cause? Okay. The cause will depend. Okay? It depends. Okay? Are we referring to the perspective of S or the perspective of B? Okay? When we are referring to the perspective of S, the cost will be the price of the land. Okay? However, when we refer to the perspective of B, the cost will be the what? The delivery of the land. Okay? So, that's simple. Okay? So, depende yon. Yung cost, nakadepende po siya sa kung kaninong perspective. Okay? So, inuulit ko, si S, ang cost, kung bakit siya nag-enter into a contract, is because of the price of the land. Okay? Sana malinaw. And while for B, the cost for entering into a contract is for the delivery of the land. Okay ba? Okay, so next, punta tayo sa second type of contract na nilagay natin dito. So this time, ang tanong ko ulit, what is the cost? So again, it depends. Okay? So for S, okay, for S, the cost for S as a lessor for entering in the contract of lease is, ano? The yearly, okay? The yearly rent na 10,000. Okay, that's his cost. However, si B, what's his cost? Okay? The right to use the land. Okay? So, yun, no? Yun lang ang pagkakaiba, di ba? Kasi ito, sale, malamang-lamang, o delivery ng land, kasi sa kanya na yun. Okay? Pero dito sa contract of lease, yung use lang. Okay? Limited lang doon. Yun yung kanyang cost. Okay? So, sana, using this example, naliunawan po kung anong pagkakaiba ng object and the cost. Okay? So, by the way, ang object is also called, kung maalala niyo yung mga elements ng obligations natin, yun nga, yung prestation, pwede ring prestation yan, or pwede ring subject matter. Okay? So, ayan. Next, punta tayo sa object. What are the requisites of an object? So, number 1, an object must be lawful. Pag sinabi nating lawful, ayun, not contrary to law, morals, good customs, public order, or public policy. Okay? So, may mga na-example na tayo last time sa mga obligations topic ng mga unlawful, di ba? Unlawful na ganyan. Okay? So, for example, bawal magbenta ng shabu. Okay? So, malamang lang kasi it is contrary to law. Bawal magbenta ng, let's say, mga organs kasi aside from law, bawal siya o bawal din siguro sa morals or diba? For example, magbenta ng fetus, 'di ba? Meron ganun sa yung sa China ata 'yun. Okay? So hindi ako sure. Okay? Pero 'yun, nababasa-basa lang. Okay? So 'yun, 'di ba? Hindi lang siya against sa morals, against siya sa kung ano-ano pa dito. Okay? So ayan. Magbenta ng ano pa ba? Ng laman. Syempre, 'yun, morals 'yun. Okay? So 'yun yung mga 'yun, mga bawal. Okay? So kapag ganun ng object natin, hindi pwede. Hindi magkakaroon ng isang valid contract. Okay? So number 2, actual or possible. Okay? So possible ba yung object na yan? So for example, yun nga, ang contract natin, ang object ng contract natin is star, the star, actual stars in the sky. So hindi pwede, hindi siya possible. Okay? Next, number 3, transmissible or within the commerce of man. Okay? So pwede bang maging object ng contract ang, let's say, your right to vote during elections. Okay? Actually, the right to vote during elections is intransmissible. So therefore, hindi siya pwedeng maging object ng isang contract. And also, it is personal in nature. Okay? Pag namatay ka, okay, yung right mo na yun ay mababaon hanggang sa hukay mo. So, hindi na pwedeng gamitin yung right mo na yun para gawing pamboto ng iba. Pero yun nga, may mga issue last time na yun nga, yung mga namatay na tao, yung mga hindi na registered, mga ganun. Nakakaboto pa rin, sabi nila. Okay? Pero never mind. Okay, number 4, determinate or determinable. Okay? So, yung object natin dapat determinate, hindi siya generic kasi for example, nagbebenta ka pero generic at that moment na o kahit anong basta bebentahan kita ng ito. Okay? Malay ba natin kung anong specific yan, baka may sira yan or kailangan makita natin yung specific na bagay na yun, di ba? Yung mismong bagay na yun. Okay, makita natin, okay, magawang determinate siya. Kasi kung ano man ang mangyari sa bagay na yun nga, for example, nawala siya via fortuitous event, yun nga, di ba? ma-extinguish na yung obligation or whatsoever. Okay? So, it must be determinate or capable of being made determinate. Okay? Okay, so, ayan. So, special case tayo. Future inheritance. Pwede bang maging object of a contract? The answer is no. Okay? A future inheritance cannot be an object of a contract. So, ang example po ng future inheritance, for example this, X is the son of Y. Y is still alive. Okay? However, si X, binenta niya yung inheritance niya kay Z. So, in that case, yung contract of sale between X and Z, actually, wala yan. Non-existent yung contract na yan. Okay? Hindi valid. Hindi valid yung contract na yan dahil, okay, ang object ng kanilang contract ay isang future inheritance. So, paano ba natin masasabi na ito ay isang future inheritance? Simple lang. Tignan natin. Si Y, buhay pa. So, future inheritance pa yan. Pero once na namatay si Y, at that very moment, hindi na siya future inheritance. Okay? So, pwede na siya maging object ng isang kontrata. Okay? So, sana simple lang yung concept ng future inheritance natin. Okay, so punta tayo sa cost. So, what will be the cost? Actually, nakapag-example tayo kanina nung binabanggit natin yung difference between an object and a cost, okay? Actually, yung cost, it depends upon the type of contract. So, last time, yung initial video natin, yung first video natin under contracts, di ba? Kinlassify natin yung mga different contracts. So, meron tayong isang classification doon wherein it was classified according to the cost. So, ito na nga yun. So, mga onerous contracts, gratuitous contracts, and remuneratory contracts. Okay, so unahin muna natin yung onerous. Pag sinabi natin onerous, usually each party receives a valuable consideration. Okay? So, andito, as to each of the contracting parties is understood to be the undertaking or the promise of the thing or service by the other party. Okay, so yun nga, in example natin kanina sa contract of sale, ang cost para kay seller is the price of the thing, while the cost sa perspective ni buyer is the promise. Okay, the promise of the thing, di ba? Of the thing. Okay, the promise of the thing, the delivery of the land, okay, specifically. Okay, however, in gratuitous, simple lang ang cost, okay? Yung kabilang party naman kasi, wala naman siyang i-give up, so, ang cost dito is, okay, nabaliktad natin. Okay, nabaliktad natin. Okay, so this is gratuitous, and this is onerous. So, mere liberality of the benefactor or the pure generosity of the, tawag dito, of the donor, if ever it is a donation, di ba? Okay, so that is the cost. Okay, however, in remuneratory, so it is the service or benefit which is remunerated. So, meron tayong ibang term na ginamit dyan last time, or which is yung services or benefit already acquired or done, parang ganun, di ba? So, for example, yun nga in a contract of employment, okay, so once na nakapag-render na ng service yung mga ano mo, okay, so that is the cost kung bakit ka magbibigay or, di ba, magpapasahod, okay? So, those are the three, okay, classifications of contracts according to their costs, okay? So, what are the requisites of cost? So, number 1, it must be existing, lawful, and number 3, it must be true, okay? So, actually, itong number 1 and number 3, I mean, is almost almost synonymous sila, pero when we are referring to the existence of the cost, we are actually referring on the actual existence of the cost. So, mamaya, explain natin. Okay? However, when we are talking about if the cost is true, not false, okay? Ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung nabanggit doon sa contract, it is actually the true cost, okay? In the contract. So, example tayo. Okay? Ano ba yan? Cost versus motive ka agad. Okay? So, ayan. So, for example, sabi natin si X, paano ba yun? Si X, magdi-deliver daw siya i-deliver niya daw yung, let's say, X will deliver sugar. Okay? Sugar to Y. Okay? Bakit? Anong cost? Kasi, yun nga, nagbayad si Y. Okay? Nagbayad si Y, let's say, ng 100 peso per kilo. Okay? Per kilo ng sugar. Okay? So, yun yung cost daw. Okay? So, in here, dapat yung cost na yan, yung nagbayad ng 100 peso per kilo ay talagang dapat nag-exist. Talagang nakapagbayad nga talaga si Y kay X. Kasi kung hindi, okay? Kasi kung hindi, ibig sabihin, the cost is actually not existing. Okay? The cost is actually not existing. Ibig sabihin, kung it is not existing dahil requisite yan ng cost, ibig sabihin, walang cost. Okay? At kung walang cost, hindi magkakaroon ng perfected contract. Okay? Yung number 2, malamang-lamang very easy to digest lang yung number 2 kasi it must be lawful. The cost must be lawful. Okay? So for example, yun nga, nag-deliver ako ng sugar, pero ang kapalit, let's say, marijuana or what, di ba? Or ano, magiging mistress or whatsoever, di ba? Lahat na ng illegal na pwede nyo maisip. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi magkakaroon ng perfected contract in that case. Okay? Kasi it's not lawful. So, number 2. Okay. So, ano naman yung number 3? Sabi ko, it is somewhat. Okay? Actually, pares lang yan sa number 1. Okay? Ang pagkakaiba lang is yung number 3 where we are actually referring to the statement, okay? To the statement in a contract. So for example, sabi dito, X deliver a sugar, okay? X deliver a sugar to Y. Okay? Because of binanggit niya. Yung kanina hindi natin binanggit yung 100, okay? So binanggit niya mismo dun sa contract 100 kilogram. Pero actually in reality ganito. In reality, hindi 100 peso. Okay? Kundi, nag-barter or nagbigay din siya ng, let's say, ano pala, what do you call this? Hindi pera yung binayad niya. Let's say, nagbigay din ng bigas, okay? Rice, okay? So, in this case, may chance na baka ito ay isang contract, hindi contract of sale, baka ito ay barter. May chance na ganun, okay? So, yun nga. In this case kasi, the stated cost is not true. So, therefore, may chance na ma-invalidate tong contract mo. Actually, may invalidate siya with regards to being a contract of sale. Okay? So, in this case, it will be, parang kumbaga, makukonvert siya into a contract of barter kung barter nga ba ito. Yun yung intention. Parang ganun. Okay? So, that is the difference between number 1 and number 3. Existing, the cost must be existing, and number 3, the cost must be true, not false. Okay? So, ayan. Next. Punta tayo sa last concept under cost. Cost versus motive. So, nabanggit natin yung motive. Ano ba yung motive? In Tagalog, motibo. Okay, so for example, X buys a gun from an arms dealer and procured the necessary permit. So, ayan, what do you call this? So, X entered into the contract because, so yun, para ma-deliver sa kanya yung gun, magkaroon siya ng gun. Pero, more personal, let's say, a more personal reason kung bakit niya binili yung gun na yun is gagamitin niya for assassination, for example. Okay, so in that case, the personal reason na binanggit natin, which is the assassination, it will be the motive, okay, in the contract. However, okay, the motive does not affect the status of the contract. It doesn't matter if the motive is illegal. Okay, wala tayong paki doon. Kahit na illegal yung motive, the contract will remain to be valid because the cause is lawful, which is yun nga. Na-acquire naman yung necessary permit. Tapos, malamang yung arms dealer na to is legal naman siya, okay? So, talagang nagbebenta siya ng baril, okay? So, ayun, yun yung pagkakaiba ng cause and motive. And usually, yung cause, tawag dito, usually yung cause, usually known siya for both parties, okay? Pero yung motive, yung party lang, kung kanino yung motive na yun, siya lang nakakaalam usually. Okay? So, yun yung mga, okay? Pero ang pinaka tatandaan nyo na lang na pagkakaiba ng dalawang yan is, yung motive, hindi niya naapektuhan yung validity ng contract. Ganun lang yun. Okay? Kasi, hindi naman siya essential requisite ng isang contract. Okay? Pero part siya ng contract. Okay? So, ayan. Nagtapos na tayo sa essential elements of a contract, and for the next video, we will tackle the different forms of contract. So, please consider subscribing to alert you on the upcoming of these videos, okay, release of these videos, and also like this video if you find it helpful, and ayan, yung link na iniwan natin sa baba. So, pwede nyo i-test yung sarili nyo. Okay? So, coming up next will be, okay, so hindi naman natin na-edit. So, this will be forms of contracts. Forms of contracts. Okay. So, forms of contracts. Okay? So, see you and goodbye.